Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's video is going to be another foundation first impression, and this one is on the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. Now this is by no means new to the industry. This product has been around for a while, however it is new to me. I've never tried it before, and I actually picked it up at the Sephora showcase a couple of months ago, so I've been holding out since then to try it. So the shade that I got is Light 49 Neutral. I believe they've actually got about 32 shades altogether. I know that Kat actually released like a whole bunch of new shades, so there's pretty much something to suit everyone. I'm just going to bring up some details on the Kat Von D website about this foundation and read them out to you so that I know what to expect from the foundation, and then we can kind of gauge from this first impression whether it does meet that description, if that makes sense. So on the Kat Von D Beauty website here, it sells for $35 US, and here in Australia it actually sells for $49. So that's a pretty standard price for foundation here in Australia. Most foundations from like Sephora or Mecca are usually in between the $40 to $70 mark, so $49 is pretty good. Okay, so the details in regards to the foundation, it says, Lock-It foundation rocks so hard. Creamy and pigmented, it's the only long-wearing liquid formula we can count on to create a perfect canvas. One little pump is all it takes to even out discoloration, stop shine, and hide blemishes. So that's interesting. So all I'm going to test out to start off with is one pump and see how far that goes on my face in terms of coverage. But that'll be interesting. The fact that they have actually specified here that it's only one pump that's interesting. So then it says, the coverage is amazing, whether you apply with a brush or a sponge. It's so long wear, we can go a full 24 hours without touching up or reapplying. That velvety matte finish will stay flawless through hell or high water. Okay, so I'm obviously not going to wear it for 24 hours, but I will try and wear it as close to 12 hours as possible because it's currently 9:30 a.m. and by the time the foundation gets on my skin, I should be able to keep it on until about 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight. So we'll see how that goes. The other thing that it said was that it is a velvety matte finish. Most full coverage foundations are actually a matte finish, so it'll be interesting to see if it's got that velvety matte texture that they're talking about. So it also says the bottle features an innovative airless chamber design that prevents contamination and maintains Lock-It's rich consistency. That means you get a fresh, precisely measured dose with every pump. That's kind of cool. I just thought a bottle was a bottle, but considering it's got like the actual bottle has a reason for being the way that it is, that is pretty cool. So it's also vegan and 100% cruelty free, which again is an extra plus. Like all of my other first impressions, I will keep coming back periodically throughout the day to update you guys on how it's sitting and settling into my skin and whatnot. I have just cleansed, toned, and moisturized my face, so it is fully ready to go. So this is the box that the foundation comes in, and then the actual bottle itself. It's kind of a cool design. Not many other foundations look like this, and it is a pump, which is nice. It makes it really easy to get out of the bottle. Anyways, let's get on to actually applying this foundation. I'm going to start by using my Professional primer. This is what I use underneath every foundation. If you hear weird like chewing sounds, that is Cooper below me. He's being an absolute menace this morning, and the only way that I can get him to settle is by giving him a really big Dentastick. So he's right down beside me chewing away on his Dentastick. So I'm sorry if you can hear weird, gross, like doggy chewy noises, but life of having a puppy. They're so worth it though. So worth it. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you guys in so that you can see the application a little bit better on my skin. Now we are up close and personal. So like it said in the details that I read out earlier, you only need one pump. So that's what I'm going to start off with, is only one pump, and see how far that goes on my skin. So I'm just going to pop it onto this little palette here and do one full pump. Okay. So that there is one full pump. It doesn't look like a lot. It looks like the color is going to be a good match. Yeah, the color looks really nice. Okay, so straight off the bat, it feels like it sets really quickly on your skin, so you don't have a lot of time to blend it. I think the color is a really good match, and so far the coverage looks decent. It's definitely a matte finish, but yeah, let's keep going. foundation just feels really, really dry. Like it clings to your skin instantly, so it really doesn't give you that much time to work it into your skin. But in saying that, the way that it sets into your skin is really nice. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I'd be a bit disappointed if it wasn't giving me a chance to blend it in and it ended up looking streaky or something like that, but it doesn't. It actually looks really nice once it settles down. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I think it's just something that you'd have to get used to with this foundation, is the fact that it's not as like wet or creamy as other foundations, so you don't have as much blending time. So I have pretty much done from here down, and I've still got that much left on the palette. So let's see if I can use the rest to do the rest of my forehead. Okay, not quite. I still need a little bit more just to finish off around my hairline here. So I'm just going to do kind of like half a pump on the palette. And we'll use that to do the rest of my forehead. Okay, so I think the shade is oxidizing a little bit on my skin, because looking at this side now, it's got a little bit of a pink undertone now, which it didn't when I first applied it. It's not super, super bad, but it has definitely oxidized ever so slightly. For one pump, I wouldn't say that it was like super, super, super full coverage. For me, full coverage is when you can't see my freckles anymore, and you can definitely still see the freckles on my cheeks here and the freckles on my forehead. So definitely not full coverage like some other foundations that I've tried. I would say this is more of like a medium to full coverage. I might just do another half pump and go over the areas that I want a little bit more coverage and see how well it builds up on those areas. It has covered the redness around my nose and my cheeks really well, but I do want to build up just around there because I do have a little bit of scarring from old breakouts. So we'll see how that builds up there. So overall, I think I used about 1.5 pumps of the foundation to cover my face entirely. I still think that's really good considering other foundations require like 2 or 3 pumps. So 1.5 pumps I'm happy with, especially for this type of coverage. Like I said before, it's a little bit weird to blend. It's almost like you don't need to blend it. The foundation kind of does that bit for you, which is so strange. It was hard to get used to at the start, but once I got to my forehead, I realized it's actually a positive that the foundation's doing it for you, because it means that it doesn't take as long to blend in. So it was actually really quick to apply. It definitely is matte, but as you can see as I am turning my face, the high points of my face still look nice and radiant, which I like, because some matte foundations can leave you looking really flat. It does look really natural for a full coverage foundation. It does not look cakey at all. It still looks really, really natural. It feels really nice on my skin. It's sitting really, really nicely around my pores and my T-zone area. It hasn't caked around my nose and my smile lines. They have blended really, really well. My forehead lines as well, they don't seem to be popping through yet, which is a good sign. Anyways, I am going to jump off camera and finish off the rest of my makeup now, and I will check back in with you guys once that is done. Hey guys, so it is now 12:30 in the afternoon. I finished my makeup and then I went and had some lunch and stuff like that. So it's been about 3 hours since I first applied the foundation, and I really, really like it. When I set my face today, I only used a translucent powder, so it doesn't add any extra coverage or anything like that. And the reason is because I wanted to see how the coverage lasted throughout the day. It's broken up slightly around my smile lines, but nothing crazy. My forehead wrinkles cannot be seen. They are completely blurred. My pores still look really good. They're really smooth, and yeah, you basically can't see them. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Like, these little scar breakouts here are completely covered. Can't see them at all. I'm still really happy with how it looks. I'll probably check back in another few hours and let you guys know then. I can't see it changing much in between now and then, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next update. Hey guys, so it is now about 6:30 at night, and as you can probably see, I am very dewy, very, very dewy. So over the past few hours, I've literally I did a set of lashes on a client, and I've been sitting down and editing videos, like nothing strenuous. I have not sweat at all. It's like maybe 20 degrees here today, so it's not hot at all. This is what's happened to my face. So I mean, it can easily be fixed by just adding a bit of setting powder over the top to mattify it a little bit more, but for a matte foundation, it has very easily gotten oily, which is fine because that's obviously my skin type doing that, and other people might find that it does stay matte for longer. But yeah, considering it's supposed to be a 24-hour velvet matte foundation, I would say that, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. Other than that, the coverage is still really good. It still looks really good around my cheeks and my pores. It hasn't gotten patchy anywhere, which is really cool. Like, I often find sometimes around my contour, some foundations start to get patchy, but this is still looking really, really good. I'll zoom you guys in so that you can see exactly how good it does still look. So as you can see, it still looks really, really flawless. I think I mentioned in the last update that my smile lines have broken up ever so slightly. Nowhere near as bad as what they have been before. And the other big thing is my forehead lines do not look like, you can't see them at all. So that's another good sign, because I find that they tend to break down in some foundations as well. I'm not sure if you can see, but my pores still look really nice, really smoothed over and really flawless. And yeah, there's no patches anywhere. The coverage is still really, really good. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the update at the moment. Like I said, it's about 6:30, so I'm going to try and leave it on for another 3 hours, and then I'll come back and update you guys for the last time then, and that will be a solid 12 hours of wearing this foundation. So considering it's been on for 9 hours, it looks phenomenal. It looks really, really good, and I can't really complain at all. Hey guys, so it is now 10 to 10 at night, so this foundation has been on for just over 12 hours. In the last few hours, I've noticed quite a few changes in the foundation, so I'm actually really glad that I did leave it on for those last couple of hours, because it's kind of like separated all of the powders on my skin really weirdly, and I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick this up. Basically, it's like it's separated my bronzer, blush, and highlighter. Like, all three of those powders look like really like solid strips of product on my face now, which is so, so weird. I don't think I've ever had a foundation do that, and that could just be because my skin is a bit oily now and is breaking down the foundation. I'm not too sure, but I am a lot oilier than I was before as well. It definitely hasn't slowed down, like it's just continued getting oilier and oilier. Overall, like, I don't hate this foundation. It looked really, really nice for the first like 6 to 8 hours, and it was kind of after that that it started going a bit downhill and started getting really oily. It has started sinking into my pores a little bit. You can see here in my pores that they are starting to show, and it has started breaking up around my nose ever so slightly. Thing is, the foundation claims to be a 24-hour foundation, and at this point, I mean, if I left this on for another 12 hours, I don't know how it would look. So yeah, I think the whole 24-hour thing is probably a bit too far-fetched, but yeah, the coverage is still the same. The coverage hasn't disappeared at all. It hasn't worn off in any areas. I know the foundation is supposed to be transfer proof, and I would actually agree with that. Like, even just tapping my hand on my face now, like, foundation isn't coming off at all. I've been rubbing my nose all day as well, because for some reason I get a really runny nose every time I wear makeup. It's the strangest thing. And even then, like, you can't see any foundation actually rubbed off my nose. So that's pretty impressive. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It is definitely a foundation that I'll continue wearing if I want something a bit more full coverage. Like, I'll use it on the nights where I want to go out and glam up a bit. I hope you've enjoyed this little foundation review. If you liked this video, then definitely give it a big thumbs up to let me know. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel as well. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.